Abrahams, we have Reverend Kabaza, we have Member Mahato, we have Member Munyai, we have Member Mare, and we have Member Aramaila. Chair, also in terms of the agendas, I have an agenda, in terms of apologies, I've received an apologies from the Office of the Minister indicating that she's going to attend, and she made a request that can she be recused after her overview because she's scheduled to attend the cabinet meeting I think she'll be presenting in that meeting. So Chair, there's that request from her. We'll proceed, Chair, after and adopt the apologies and an agenda afterwards. The Minister will provide her overview, and then we'll proceed just to get a presentation from the department on the progress made on the drafting of the Children's Amendment Bill as per the committee resolution. We'll deliberate, and then you'll make your closing remarks between 10:50 and 11 o'clock. This is the agenda, Chair, before the committee for adoption and consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lindiwe, for that presentation of the agenda, tabling of the agenda. May I please have the adoption of the agenda, Honorable Abrams?
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to you and all protocol observed. Chairperson, I'd just like to add an amendment to the agenda, if possible. Before we close, if we can just have an item for internal business, please, Chairperson. So if that amendment is accepted, I'd like to move for the adoption.
Thank you, Honorable Abrams. Honorable Mahato?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I second with the amendments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So before the closing remarks, if I understand this amendment well and its adoption, before the closing remarks at 10:50, we will have a internal business item on the agenda. And I understand that that amendment has been adopted as well. Thank you so much, honorable members. So we have an agenda on which to proceed with our business today. I have a hand from the Honorable Munyai.
Oh, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members. All I just want to check is that that internal business, is it in camera internal business or just a public internal business? Thank you. I must say I'm not opposed to internal business. I just want to check that part.
No, I understand. Honorable Abrams?
Thank you, Chairperson. It's internal business, so there's no need for cameras, but I'll also leave it to the discretion of the Chairperson.
Okay, it's going to be internal business as we've always run it. It is going to be just the members in the meeting and the obviously our support in the person of the committee secretary, the content advisor, as we've always had our internal business. I see that there's a hand of Honorable Tom.
Thank you, Chairperson. I want to ask if we will get the item to be discussed maybe in the internal business by the time we get to the meeting or what?
I don't know, Honorable Tong, if it will make a difference. Do you want to determine whether you want to attend on the basis of the item? Is that why the question, Honorable Tong?
No, Chair. Usually when we have internal business after the full sitting, we are being informed that we'll be discussing 1, 2, 3 as part of the agenda. So I want to know what will be discussed in the internal business so that we can also prepare ourselves. We must not be ambushed or be caught by surprise.
Fair enough. Honorable Abrams, please can the honorable members have the items of the internal business?
Yes, Chairperson, and I would ask my colleagues to just relax. It's nothing serious. It is just to follow up on some of the outstanding items that we've asked our committee secretary to do for us, as well as some outstanding items on responses that we are supposed to be receiving from the department and the entities. So it is just an item to check and ascertain how far our committee secretary is with some of these items. So it's nothing serious. Thank you, Chairperson.
Honorable Munyai, were you taking your hand off or was it another hand?
I know the last decision of the portfolio committee, and if that is the follow-up on that matters, then it should not be a problem. But I think in practice in the future, we should note the item specific. But now that the matters has been clarified as a follow-up on the previous outstanding issues, it is understandable in my part of view. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Munyai. And thank you for that clarity on the internal business request in the items of the agenda. I then take it that we have clarified those issues and would like to take this opportunity to welcome the office, the minister, the honorable minister, the honorable DM. I don't see his attendance here on my screen, but that does not matter. And the DG and the entire leadership of the department and its entity, and would then hand over to the honorable minister to give us her overview as per the request that she has made. Thank you. Over to you, honorable minister.
The Honorable Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Social Development, Honorable Bridget Masango, Honorable members of the Portfolio Committee on Social Development, Honorable Deputy Minister Arif Hendricks in his absentia, the Director General of Social Development, Mr. Peter Nchipale, and all senior managers joining us on this virtual platform. Good morning, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members. Thank you for this opportunity to provide us an update on the Children's Amendment Act bill. This briefing comes at the back of a successful Nelson Mandela Children's Parliament, which brought together the collective voice of children across South Africa who converge here in Cape Town. We all heard what our children want and expect from those of us entrusted with the responsibility to build a South Africa fit for children. Building a society that puts children first is a defining challenge for all of us. On the occasion of the Children's Parliament, I vividly recall your poignant words, Honorable Chairperson, when you said, I note, I quote, Parliament must continue to make laws that seek to protect the rights of children and ensure every child grows in a safe, nurturing, and empowering environment. Our policies and programs must reflect the realities lived every day. Every decision we make in Parliament must serve lived every day. Every decision that we make in Parliament must serve the best interest of the child. I close quote. These words signify the critical role that this committee and by extension Parliament must play in developing pieces of legislation that talks to the lived realities of children across South Africa. So, Chair, I'm pleased that the Children's Amendment Bill and the progress we are making in finalizing it takes closer to fulfilling the expectation of our children. Honorable Chair, I'm also pleased with the significant progress we have made since our last presentation to this committee in June this year. The bill was published in Government Gazette. To date, we have received 747 valuable inputs from individuals and organizations. The closing date for submission of inputs is 26 October 2025. Honorable Chair, as the committee will appreciate, the bill has been steered through by a team of dedicated officials within the department. Allow me, Honorable Chair, to take this opportunity to thank them for their dedication and hard work as we take this bill forward. I'm also grateful to your Honorable Chair and Honorable members for your leadership and insightful inputs that have guided us to where we are today. Honorable Chair, before I hand over to the Director General to take you through the presentation, I want to again apologize for my early departure from this meeting, as we are tabling the draft policy on social development services to persons with disabilities. Chair, the Cabinet Committee this morning is going to receive this. This is another important piece of work to ensure that children with disability do not fall through the cracks. Chair, I must make mention of the fact that the Minister of Public Service and Administration sent the letter to the Department of Social Development, regretting the oversight made by his department on the DG's appointment matter. In its effort to expedite the process, the DPSA erroneously relied on the cabinet statement issued after the meeting of the 26th March 2025 and not the actual minutes of cabinet. On the matter of the false reporting by media houses about DG's suspension, that was not factual. As a department, we wrote to them to point out the inaccuracies, and in turn, they sent an apology to us, that is those media houses, and retracted those articles. The media houses are as follows: the Eyewitness News, together with Lindsay Dentling, Daily Maverick editor Ms. Gillian Green. On that note, Honorable Chairperson, thank you, and honorable members, for the opportunity. I now give over to the Director General of the Department of Social Development, Mr. Peter Nechipale, and his team for the presentation. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, Honorable Chair, and honorable members. I will then request the executive managers to prepare and present the Children's Amendment Bill as outlined. Let me request the DDG Mahangwa, responsible for children, supported, and the person who's going to present is Advocate Luyanda Mchochisi, who must take us through the bill. I'm also Chair, just to note that myself and the minister need to go and do the presentation on the disability bill in cabinet, which I will request to be excused, and then this will be led by DDG Mahangwa, who is in the meeting. She will lead the team, and even including the questions and any other deliberation that will be coming from the team. Thank you very much, and Chairperson and members. Over to you, Advocate Mahangwa and Advocate Chochisa.
Good morning, honorable members and Chairperson and Minister. Thank you so much. Advocate is here with us. Over to you, Advocate, to take us through the presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, Honorable Minister, Honorable members, the executive of the department, parliamentary staff, and colleagues. Today, as has been indicated, it is to brief the honorable members on the progress that has been made thus far with regards to the Children's Amendment Bill since we last met in June. The bill, if just by means of a background, as a reminder, that it was initially presented to Parliament during the 6th administration, and some of the provisions were not dealt with. This is just a background that we are familiar with. And the bill was taken to the state law advisors for their legal opinion in terms of how do we move forward since we last met during that administration. So the department amended the bill in line with inputs received from Oxla and DevCom, that is the Development Committee on, for the JCBS cluster, and also the Social Protection cluster and the DG's cluster, JCBS cluster. So the comments from various stakeholders were also taken into consideration. The 20 clusters approved the bill to be presented in cabinet, and the process was that on the 15th of July 2025, the department presented the bill at the Social Protection cluster, and on 26 July, the cabinet granted approval for the publication of the bill in the Gazette to solicit public comments. And on the 26th of September, the bill was then published in the Gazette for a period of 30 days, and the closing date for comments and inputs is 26 October 2025. At the date of this presentation, we had received about 747 comments, that is as of 13 October 2025. And we even after that, we still received more and more comments. The majority of the comments are coming from one of the provisions that we have amended, more especially around baby savers, where the majority of people are objecting to that. Just to take note of that, ordinarily the other provisions, the persons who are making comments are not having a problem with that. I must also indicate, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, that we entertain comments in whatever form, although we do have a template in terms of how the comments should be submitted to the department, but we do not discriminate even if people have not followed that process. It's not cast in stone, so we entertain all the comments and we have responded to all those who have given us comments. So the department at present is busy consolidating such comments, and as we receive them from time to time. And we intend to consider all the public comments, including from the provinces and relevant government departments who are also making comments. So these consultations are crucial because the stakeholders that are affected by the bill are expected to implement this piece of legislation once it is active at the end of the day. So it is important to have a voice from them. So these consultations with them will also inform the revisions and amendments that we need to have in this bill. So after the closing date, the department will consider all the comments as I've indicated and revise the bill where applicable, because we're not taking all the comments. We assess them whether there is a need to say amend the bill based on the nature and type of the comments and the rules that govern us with regard to the implementation of the comments. So if we are satisfied with the bill, after the comments that have been incorporated, we will further resubmit the bill to the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor for a legal opinion and cabinet for approval to introduce it in Parliament. We must remember, honorable members, that once we incorporate all the comments, the nature and the content of the bill may change and therefore necessitate us to have another legal opinion from the Office of the State Law Advisor. Just to say that since the incorporation of the comments, the bill is still constitutionally in order. So it is therefore recommended that the committee takes note of the progress made towards the introduction of this bill, with the understanding that once the comments have been incorporated and taken to the State Law Advisor, that is the bill taken to the State Law Advisor, will then be approaching Cabinet to approve that the bill be introduced to Parliament. And we anticipate that this will take place in the next period of 3 months, judging from the progress that we are making thus far. I thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members.
Thank you. Thank you, Advocate Mthochisa, for that very short presentation, but obviously comprehensive in terms of the progress that has been made. Should I be handing over to the DG for the recommendation, or is the advocate saying these portfolio committee members can read and they can see the recommendation? DG, that was just a light comment. DG, recommendation, please. Oh, is he gone?
No, my apologies, Honorable Chair. I thought I would have indicated that recommendation is that the honorable members should take note of the progress registered so far. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much, Advocate, for that. Honorable members, here is the presentation for you to deliberate and comment and ask questions as you see fit. I will take hands for now of the honorable members as they want to ask their questions. Honorable Tafeni is going to be number 1. And then Honorable Abrams. And then that's it. Oh, Honorable Reverend Babaza. And then, Honorable Mare. Honorable Mahato. In that order. Honorable Tafeni.
Enkosi Chairperson, mandibulise, Honorable Minister, members of the committee. Mandibulele inantsiki presentation from Mr. Mthochisa. Ibalulekile into bana silinde into bana this presentation ibe kanti amendiwe with those inputs the stakeholders. Ibalulekile kakhulu kona mandibulele Chairperson, akukho okunye ndiyabulela. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Tafeni, for that. Honorable Abrams.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you for the presentation. Chairperson, I first would like to start with the Minister's opening remarks, and I would like to request that the Minister, if she can kindly share with the committee the newspaper's retractions and apologies that she's mentioned, because I have seen the Daily Mavericks article that she's referring to, and I don't see any apology or retraction on the statements made. What I do see is a correction, and I can read the correction to the committee. It says the Daily Maverick had initially included a document which included the ID number of Peter Nechapali. We have since redacted his ID number. So if that is the apology and the correction that the Minister is referring to, I just would like that to be confirmed, because it's not what was implied in the minister's opening remarks. But moving on to the presentation at hand, Chairperson, I am, and I know we will deliberate this further, but I am just need to voice my objection on one of the proposed amendments, and that is the definition of abandoned child, where the department seeks to include a child relinquished or placed in a baby box. And Chairperson, my concern stems from the fact that this will then, criminalize over 40 registered child protection organizations, so organizations who are registered with the department, who have been successfully operating baby savers and have saved hundreds of babies' lives. And by inserting this definition, they are going to criminalize these baby savers. They're going to be forced to close it, and leaving mothers who have tried to do the right thing with no place to give up their babies in a safe and humane way. And I sometimes wonder if the department is reading the same headlines and is reading the same news articles that I am reading, where we see so many babies being found in dumpsters and dirt bins and left for dead, that they would want to put this amendment in. And I want to ask the department, I know the advisor says that, it's passed, it's got the certificate from the state law advisor, but how is that when this amendment contradicts sections of the Constitution? For example, it contradicts Section 28 and Section 11.
My sincere apology, Honorable Abrams. My understanding, and you can advise yours. My understanding is that the bill is coming to us, and you will have an opportunity to tear it apart, and I just want to understand if you know that what you're raising now is actually going to be, you have an entire process once the bill gets to before the committee for you to raise as many objections as possible, because I think I feel like you are preempting the process by getting into the actual bill itself, because this progress report is just saying how far they are in the processes that are outside of Parliament, that are still in the hands of the executive. And so while I appreciate your comments, but I'm just wondering if you are preempting the process, and you are still going to have to repeat this once the process has reached the table of this committee.
Thank you, Chairperson, and I note your comments. I think it's important to repeat as many times as I can get opportunity to repeat. But then let me just say this from experience of the last time that the Children's Amendment Bill was before the Social Development Committee. Not many of the inputs from stakeholders were actually taken in consideration. So let me say this, that I hope the over 700 inputs that have been submitted is taken into consideration.
I want to raise an issue
with reference to the minister's opening remarks, where she says,
but the order.
I'm now referring to the minister's open remarks, where the minister herself said children growing in a safe and nurturing environment.
Chair, point of order.
And I would just like to know what kind of safe and nurturing environment is a child growing up that is unwanted. So I'll leave it there, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair. I raise a point of order. I don't know whether she's still here. I raise a point of order, and please allow.
Honorable Munyai.
I raise a point of order, Honorable Chair.
Yeah, I know. And I appreciate that. I recognize your hand. Can I just give the Portfolio Committee on Social Development's hand is up as well? Okay. Is that Lindiwe or Yolisa?
Yes, it's me, Chair. It's Lindiwe, Chair. Can I try to provide a procedural advice?
Okay.
on the subject matter that is before the
I
committee.
raise a point of order on the procedure,
Honorable
please.
Chair.
Okay.
Honorable Mnyai, let's just get the procedure right. And then I will
raise a
recognize
point
the
of
hand.
order on the procedure while honorable member was speaking, and I was not recognized.
Okay, I recognize you now.
Chairperson, I'm sure you're aware, and I think you reflected on that matter, on the issues of separation of power. With respect to the lawmaking processes, there is the role of the executive to try to introduce the bill. And once the bill goes to the speaker and come to us before us, it's our bill as as it clarifies in the separation of power. It's Parliament bill. Then Parliament then can run with the process of public participation as you clarified. I think it's unfair, Chairperson, to want to interfere with the executive process where they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do, including the issues of socio-economic benefits, getting the necessary certificate, passing the constitutional master, getting the necessary certification from the state law advisor. And we are briefed on the progress, as you correctly clarified, that the bill will come to us. Can you allow the executive to do their work when the bill is before us? It's us that will make that law after consulting the people, not the people, us. So it's incorrect to begin to comment on the briefing with respect to that lawmaking process. For us is to note when the bill is here before Parliament, we will be able to conduct what we call public participation. And our own team will be able to consolidate the output from the community. Ultimately, we'll have, through our own process, make that law ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mnyai, for just elaborating on the points that I made to the Honorable Abrams. Can we get the procedure from Lindiwe?
Thank you very much. I think Mr. Munyai, he read my mind in terms of the processes. That when it comes to the formulation of the legislation, the executive is a critical role to play to gather information and follow the certain processes for it, and then they will introduce it to Parliament. It is only then the Parliament, after referred by the Speaker, where the committee will decide on which process to undertake. And there is also, just to remind members, there will that formal stage whereby the committee will pass the bill, consider the bill clause by clause. It is only then where the committee will make necessary amendments on various clauses. For now, it will be premature, or it might be perceived as the interference and on the other sphere of government. I would plead with members to appreciate the fact that they are kept on the loop as far as the processes that the department is undertaking to ensure that the bill comes to its finalization, and then let's allow the formal processes of Parliament. When the bill is introduced by the Minister and the Speaker of the National Assembly will refer the bill to the committee, and the committee will develop a legislative process as to how they need to process this bill. I think for now it's premature to make any input and advise that let's allow the executive to perform to discharge its constitutional obligation. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Lindiwe. I don't know what is happening with my video. It keeps hiding me. It doesn't matter what I do to the screen, so I will not subject this meeting to half my my face in this meeting. Thank you, Lindiwe, for that procedural advice, and the Honourable Monyai also. And I take it that the Honourable Abrams is taking note of that, because obviously we all feel certain ways about what we are working with, but we still also have to make sure that we keep to our side of the processes that have to be followed by constitution, by the rules of parliament, by any other prescript that is there to guide us, because all I was also trying to say is that let us take the guidance of how the process ensues in terms of processing of legislation. We are, as it were, lawmakers. So there's no way that this law will go anywhere until we have had the ample opportunity for us to process it. So with that, I would like to go over to the Honorable Reverend Kubaza.
Thank you so much, Chair, honorable members, Minister, DG, and everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for the presentation about the process where it is right now. I just want to ask, the presenter presented that there is 747 comments that have come in. And there was something that he said about, I don't know, there are some comments that were negative or positive about it, but I just want to know how many, can you repeat that statement again? When he was presenting, I couldn't hear that properly.
Okay, thanks, Honorable Reverend. I will give that opportunity to Advocate Georgisa to repeat that part. Honorable Mare.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I'm covered because I was just a little bit confused, but now I know what's happening. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Mare. We now go to the Honorable Mahato. Honorable Mahato? You are muted, ma'am. You are muted. You are still muted, Honorable. Honorable Mnyai, please, are you still wanting to take your slot? Because you were next. We'll go back to the Honorable Mahato once her muting situation is resolved.
I will take the slot with much gratitude. And I think, Honorable Chair, we welcome the update by the ministry or the progress thus far. And I'm sure, as we're required, we note such a progress. It is important that we know that they're doing something. And I hope, Chairperson, we will also further receive some progress on the introduction of the basic income support. But for today to be relevant with respect to the item on the agenda, we note the progress.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Munyai. Let's go back to the Honorable Mahato. Are you able to unmute yourself now, ma'am?
Through you, Chairperson, Mama Khato, lika unmute mu. Bosaba ligwe.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know how to assist, because obviously we are online and I don't know where the honorable is. I think Honorable Mahato, you are still muted. Like, your mute button has not moved. So let's go to to Advocate Chochisa for I believe the repeat of that progress slide for the benefit of the Honorable Reverend Gobaza, and then, of course, respond to the comments that have been made. Thanks, Advocate.
Good morning once again, Honorable Chair, and highly appreciated the comments. Let me appreciate all the comments indeed from all the members and go back to the comment around the 747 comments. What we were trying to indicate was that as we have published the bill for public comments, we are indeed receiving public comments. And so far, at the time we were drafting this presentation that we are making today before we circulated it, we had received about 747 comments. And mainly, it was just to indicate that mainly with those 747 comments, they come from people who are objecting to one of the proposed amendments. And that amendment being around baby savers and all of that. So that is what we just wanted to bring to the attention of the members of the committee. I'm not sure if I clear Honorable Chair.
Thank you.
Can I just lead, Honorable Kobaza? You can thank Advocate Chochisa now.
Thank you, Thank you, Advocate. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. I realize that I can be slow sometimes, and members are in a hurry to do or say what they want to say. But I appreciate your understanding of my slowness. Honorable members, we now have exhausted the list of the members that wanted to comment on the presentation of the progress that has been made in the executive processing of the bill, which is slowly but surely bringing us to where the bill will be processed further until it gets to us as the members of this committee and be in the legislative side of things. I just want to now also thank the department for, according to our agenda, the committee has deliberated, and the advocate has responded. Did you respond to the other comments on? I nearly said Honorable Advocate Chochisa.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, I did, because others were just comments, not necessarily questions.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right. No, thank you for that. I just now would like to thank the department, thank the DG in his absence and the minister in her absence, and thank Advocate Mchochisa for the presentation. I did hear that in your presentation, although it may not have been written down, I was just trying to check now, that you will be coming back to us in 3 months' time after all the way forward issues will have been covered, where you say after the closing date, you will consider all inputs, and then you will resubmit it to the Chief State Law Advisor for final certification. You will present it to the relevant technical committees, DG clusters and cabinet, and so on and so forth. And then you will continue to update the portfolio committee with the progress made, and that progress will be in the next 3 months, as you said during your presentation. So we thank you for that. And as amended in the agenda, I will release the department so that the portfolio committee can deal with the internal business as per the amendment that was made at the beginning of the meeting, with much gratitude and appreciation for this presentation and the progress. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair.
Oh, sorry. Honorable Makgato has been able to unmute herself. I hope the department has not gone.
But I'm fine. I'm fine now because now you've taken the new dimension. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I was listening at you, but I was unable to talk to you.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Makgato. Okay. We are now, I can see that the department and entities are leaving the platform, so that the portfolio committee and our support will stay with us during the internal business. Honorable Abrams, please take over for your item.
Yes, thank you, Chairperson. I would just like to get some feedback if the committee secretary has managed to obtain that legal advice that we sought to obtain from the last meeting. And then a second point, Chairperson, if the committee secretary needs me to put my request on writing to the minister, seeing as the minister and the DG had both left the meeting when I asked for them to forward me the apologies and the reductions from the media houses. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Abrams, for that. I will hand over to Lindiwe on the matter of the legal advice that she was going to obtain for us on the matters that we were discussing the Thursday before we went to the oversight. Over to you, Lindiwe.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning again, members. Chair, on the 9th of October, a committee made a resolution to seek legal advice on the matters relating to the department contracts and other issues. It's safe to say immediately after that we went to the oversight visit. The progress made thus far in that resolution is that there is an advocate assigned to attend to our matter. There was a brief with the legal advisor, and the necessary documentation has been forwarded to the advocate so that to be able to get in context of the matter. I think he has promised that the advice will be available. It's either end of this week or Tuesday will be the latest. So the matter it's been taken care of, and there is a progress made. Thank you very much. And Mr. Advocate, Member Abrams, and I would appreciate you can give me in writing your request so that I can forward to the DG and the Minister's office. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lindiwe, for that. the legal advice process is underway or ongoing. And as soon as we get that advice, we will obviously share it, because it was resolved by this committee to get the advice. And as soon as we have it, it will then be shared with the portfolio committee for its inputs, and obviously it should give us a way forward from the side of the portfolio committee, what it is that we can do, what we will do. The Honorable Munyai.
Thank you, the Honorable Chairperson and honorable members. I want to, if I don't really make your work difficult, just summary of the brief that has been given to the advocate. I know we have taken decision that we must seek legal advice. If that summary of the brief is written, can it be shared with ourselves, or it can be presented, or rather shared with ourselves, so that we know what was the brief, as a process, what was the input on the brief, and so that we'll expect the feedback consistent with the brief. Lastly, there are questions that I wanted to raise with the Honorable Minister with respect to her overview. And maybe it's important that we declare those questions, or we send them to Secretary through your permission, so that they can be forwarded to the Honorable Minister to reply in the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Munyai, for that request, for the brief that was given to the advocate to the legal services, and then they allocated the advocate to work on the advice. Lindiwe, do you have an answer to that? Lindiwe? The honorable member would like access to the brief that was given to the advocate.
Sorry, Chair. Sorry. I thought I've muted myself. Chair, it's a matter of says we try to give him a background as to what transpired. Firstly, was the issue of the appointments, the inconsistencies, etc. And also we provided the overview by the minister on that particular day, and also the issue of the PSC, whether it will be constitutionally for the committee to conduct parallel processes whilst the matter is before PSC, and what other options we can try to keep the department accountable. So those are the aspects we tried to brief the advocate on, and also we submitted that overview by the minister. I don't know whether you only would want to add anything in relation to the request, or you, Chair?
No, I don't think I have anything to share other than to say that the advocate, just to confirm exactly what you're saying, to say the advocate received the overview by the minister on the Thursday, the report by the minister on the Thursday, and the PowerPoint presentation on the New York trip that was presented by the DG on the day. That is what the advocate was given, because while the portfolio committee, at least my understanding that the portfolio committee noted the report by the minister, but then wanted to know then what, now what, and that's when the minister said all the appointments in the ministry were going to be referred to the Public Service Commission, and all the appointments in the department were going to be subjected to a forensic investigation. And so that is then what was literally word for word given to the advocate, and that is what the advocate will be using to apply his mind on this issue, and then come back to the portfolio committee with a written report or a written briefing to the committee to say, given all these issues, this is what I can advise the portfolio committee to do or not to do without overreaching, or not to do because it's out of their competence. Honorable Monyai, I've recognized you, Honorable Gobaza, that the hand of Honorable Monyai, I don't know whether it came up while we were speaking, but it's over to you, Honorable Monyai.
Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, I will appreciate that brief, written brief, be emailed to ourselves for the record, because you know what, I don't want to follow through on what the secretary would have said, because I heard some statement that speak about inconsistencies, and it was not completed on inconsistency on what. I don't want to do that or have a dialogue. All I'm asking, what has been submitted to the advocate as a brief, can it be shared as it is with all honorable members before committee? Thank you.
No, fair enough. That will certainly be done. Honorable Reverend Kobaza, and I've recognized you, Honorable Mare, will come straight to you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, honorable members. I think we on our last meeting, we have mandated the secretary to give us legal advice. That's what we did. If it was possible, Chair, that we could let the secretary do exactly that, and do not now jump over to the secretary. If we want to write the statement that must be given to legal, then we should do that, write this. But we have given the secretary the mandate to say, go and seek legal advice for us. So it's because that we trust the secretary, we want the secretary to do that. We know that the secretary sits in the meeting, the secretary understands everything that we are doing. So we've given her to say, go and seek legal advice. Today, if ever the legal advice or the advocate said, no, this is the way we should go, today we'll be having a resolution to say, are we going with that part or not? So if ever we are seeking for what the secretary have given to the legal advisor or whatnot, I don't think that is correct for us. And unless we want to write the statement, we want to write that thing, I don't think is correct. I think we should protect the secretary also. Chair, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Reverend Babaza. Honorable Mare.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I also would like to say that we must wait for the report from the secretary, because we told the secretary to get some legal advice, Chairperson. I just want to have a word of caution, Chairperson. I know that we are off the subject of the Children's Amendment Bill. It just struck me when we were doing the Children's Amendment Bill, a lot of things has happened. But during our tenure as the sixth Parliament, we almost didn't make it with the older person's bill. Remember, Parliament was closed already, and then the person has to sign. I would like us to just keep in mind of time, because sometimes time is not on our side, and we don't want us as the seventh Parliament not to finish what we have started. So I also would like to remind, because some of us were there last time, and we saw what happened to the older person's bill at the last minute. Parliament closed, President has to sign the things and stuff. Let us do things proper this time when it comes to the Children's Amendment bill, so that we can have enough time to sort everything out and not be a session, or like they said, the seventh Parliament that did not achieve anything during their term as members of Parliament. So let us stick to time. Let us see that we finish this Children's Amendment bill in time, so we don't do things rush like the last time. Thank you so much, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Mare. I fully understand your concern about making sure that we keep within this term everything that we are doing. I don't want to speak on behalf of anyone, but I think we, the Portfolio Committee, did give the department a sort of a mandate to report to us every time that they, after every amount of months, to give us the progress that they have made. And I don't know that they have not kept to that. And I remember us saying that we would hate for this thing to be rushed, as it always happens with the bills, that towards the end of the term, there's just bills all over the show. And I'm still confident now that we are within the timeframes that will ensure that this bill is not one of those that will sit in the Parliament will be part of the stampede that happens towards the end of the term. But I think you are making a very important call that in whatever we do, let's make sure that what has happened in the past does not happen as far as this bill is concerned. So I appreciate that. And I don't know now, Honorable Munyai, is that your hand again?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Chair, I know you made a ruling that the summary of the brief will be shared with ourselves. And I know that matter has been contested. So in final analysis, what is the position? Because what's wrong to know what process went into seeking that legal advice, whether that brief is consistent with what we have agreed upon. So it's not a doubt to the Secretary or vote of no confidence against the Secretary. We trust the Secretary and the Chair and the work that they do. So, and I'm saying this because we made a ruling, and I have noticed other members are objecting to that view. So why the summary of our brief cannot be shared with the members? I don't understand. Lastly, Chair, you said that with respect to TRIP of this or international study tour, with respect to this to the bill or to the bill itself, will be done when the bill is here. And I know when it comes here, you will be required to advertise for public hearing within and come up with a program. That will be expected. And when will be that opportunity to conduct a study tour with respect to the very same bill will happen. And I think I caution on these issues, and I was told only when the bill is here. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Munyai, for that. You know, when the Honorable Kobaza said what he said, I actually was reminded of the request, I think it was made by yourself as well, Honorable Munyai, to say we need a written legal advice, not a written brief to the Parliament Legal Services. And so it sounds to me that there's an amendment to the request that let us have, and I agreed to it. I don't know why, but I agreed to it because I didn't know that there's anything wrong with it. But actually, we did not ask for the brief to the parliamentary legal advisors. We asked for a written legal advice, what the honourable Qabaza is talking to. Let's get what we ask for. But I would allow the Portfolio Committee on Social Development's hand to speak. I know I ruled to say that shouldn't be a problem, but let's hear what Lindiwe has to say.
Thank you very much, Chair. I've just shared with you the request submitted to the legal services.
Okay.
Chair, let me clarify something. When it comes to a legal advice, it goes beyond my jurisdiction as the committee secretary. My role is to provide procedural advice, but when it comes to legal advice, it's no longer my key responsibility. I think because of being managed to get the studies of an LLB, so that does not qualify me as a legal advisor. I think I was just maybe excited, but I don't formulate any legal advice as Ulindiwe Ntsam. So that's why I said it's prudent. This key responsibility where we need someone who is trained and with experience to assist the committee or to support the committee with a sound advice where he will refer to the prescripts or legal frameworks. And Chair, I don't know whether I can read the letter we forwarded to the legal advice as to what transpired and what do they want us to assist with. I've just emailed it to members.
Okay. Thank you. The members asked for it in writing, so they've got it now. Thank you for that, Lindiwe. Honorable Murray.
Sorry, Chair, I forgot to lower my hand.
Oh, lower your hand, please, honorable member. I nearly said Honorable Yolisa.
Honorable Kanye. Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning to you, Chair, and to the members and colleagues. If you allow me, Chair, can I respond to Honorable Munya's second question?
Yes,
about the status quo?
Yes.
Yes, because he made he wanted clarity on that one. In my response, Honorable Munyai, because I am the one who also gave that advice that we must maybe wait for this bill to come, because as Parliament, we are legislatures. So what we need to go and study and learn, it should be something that we can use as Parliament and within our mandate. So Chair, can I then explain, maybe using the same approach we did with the Older Persons Amendment Bill. We allowed process of the bill be tabled in Parliament. We had a briefing on it, and certain issues then were submitted to us. During that process, but before we did the public hearings and formal stages, we then undertook a study tour to learn more on what now we were briefed on, and some of the submissions, because I think at that moment we'd already done the written submissions, but I stand to be corrected on that one. So even on this one, Chair, this bill is going to bring maybe something new to us, which is the issue of baby savers. I'm just putting there as an example. Now, allowing this process to come, what is contained in the bill, and see where the discussions are around and where can we go as a committee to learn. I'm just using baby saver because it's a new thing. It could be any other issue that may arise from the bill, or issues, not just one, but this particular one is a new one in the country. So during that process then, Chair, the committee then may decide to say, okay, this is an area in terms of child protection that we need to have more information on. Then based on that and based on the inputs that the committee would have received, then we can formulate a motivation why, as a committee, we need now to go to the best countries or to conduct some to go to countries that have best practices on whenever subject matter that we want to study. So this is how, Chairperson, the approach that we follow, and we followed even with the Order Persons Amendment Bill. And safely to say, what we learned from the study tour also came out, the inputs from the public. So there was a convergence of issues that the committee managed to collect and also inform the former stages of the bill. So I just wanted to explain that to Mr. Munyai, Honorable Munyai. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Please take your hand down if that was the hand that, no, your hand was separate. Portfolio Committee, I'm coming to you, Reverend.
Maybe Chair, we can start with Reverend.
Oh, can I start with Reverend?
Yes, please.
Over to you, Reverend Kobaza.
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, I am concerned about time in the issue of these suspensions and everything that is happening within the department and the legal advice that is coming, because while we are waiting, things continue to happen, and questions also are asked to us as members in terms of what is going on, what is happening within the department, because things are continuing happening. I remember I quote the acting DDG of corporate. He said, you think this is small, there's a tsunami coming. So I'm thinking the quicker we get over with it, it will really assist us as a portfolio committee in terms of able to answer people on the ground and our party also, because our parties are asking us on what is happening, and we do not have clear answers in terms of what is going on. Thank you so much, Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Kubaza. Lindiwe, please include the concerns which I share. As you know, I've been on your case about this thing, and you have acted in terms of getting the advocate to work on this. But please respond to the Honorable Reverend Kubaza on this issue.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think the committee took a sound recommendation, resolution, just to seek advice on the matters before. I want to remind members that some of the issues that are happening in the department, we might be viewed as overreaching, especially if there are issues of operations. So our oversight somehow, we need to be mindful that we don't interfere with the operations of the minister. I think I've emailed you the letter I've sent to the legal advisor, and also the which I submitted with them the remarks made by the minister and the New York. I think for now, as members, I know there will be questions. I think it would be important not to commit to say that I think the legal advice will provide a way forward as to what steps the committee can take to attend to the issues. I think that's point number one. And also, Chair, if after reading the brief and also the attached document, if the committee feels that maybe it didn't cover their expectations, so they can comment on that, because this is what we've requested the legal advice to assist our committee with. And just one sentence to say that the committee requests the office assign a legal advisor to assist the committee with legal guidance to ensure that the actions and processes followed by the department are consistent with applicable labor relations, legal frameworks, and ethical standards. The committee also seeks to conduct oversight on this matter within the constitutional mandate and jurisdiction. So we want to also be mindful that we don't appear being litigated for overreaching. I think that's the reason why we said we cannot just say we want an ad hoc and whatever. We must look within the mandate of Parliament. Secondly, Chair, I just want to also chip in or provide another information, not information per se, advice regarding the international study tour that the committee would want to conduct. Now that we allocated a budget for this financial year, and it ends in March financial next year, that there's nothing that stops the committee if the bill is not before it, and if they want to conduct an international study tour in any of its constitutional mandate, let's say it's drugs, etc. So if the committee can say now, before the financial year, this committee wants to conduct an international study tour, I don't think the office of the chairperson would have a problem in ensuring that a proposal or terms of reference is put together with the research and content team within the financial year, which is March, maybe January or February, we can conduct an international study tour. So I just wanted to also comment on that, so that we can utilize the budget that is before the committee. We allocated 3M. Thank you very much.
Chair Ramaila here, I'm not able to raise my hand. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Reverend Qabaza, I recognize you, Honorable Ramaila.
Thank you, Chair. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, I didn't lower it, Chair. I second,
okay.
But
please lower it. Honorable Stanley Ramaila.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, colleagues. Chair, I also just want to caution that as a portfolio committee, we must be careful that the media out there has got its own narrative about the department. Whether that narrative is targeting the minister or whoever they want to target in the department. We really need to be careful that we don't allow the media to set the agenda for the portfolio committee. And I agree with Lindy, we must be cautious of ourselves because we're playing oversight over the department, over the minister. But in as far as operational matters are concerned, only up to an extent when we think there's been transgressions of laws and so on. But in the main, let's not allow the media to set the agenda for us. More so that we all know that we are almost in the election mode, right? There'll be a lot of campaigning and so on. We might be excited as parties to want to go for the minister whatsoever. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ramaila. I just want to also mention this, that I am very mindful, probably over mindful, that the portfolio committee is not found to have overreached in any way or form. I remember a honorable member on this platform reminding me very poignantly that let us be vigilant in what we are doing insofar as our jurisdiction is concerned. Let us be guided, which is why we are waiting for this legal advice. Let us be guided in what we do so that, because the balance between crossing the legislative line into the executive line is a very tricky one. And also the issue of allowing the media to dictate to us what we are doing, because the media wants to know and the media is receiving whistleblower information on a daily basis. as far as at least what I've seen and heard. I have been on an interview where I'm told about something or a document that I hadn't even seen. So we will always be catching up with the media, but the media doesn't have anything to lose if we try and want to feed them with the information. If we are found to be overreaching, the media will say, I never said they must do that, so we will be left alone. So I really appreciate the advice that says to us, colleagues, we are legislators. We are not the executive. So we are not going to, because I believe that what the minister is doing or what ministers do is guided by their own executive prescripts, as it were. So we just don't want the department to be in the media or the public domain for the wrong reason. But how we respond to that has to be within our jurisdiction and guided by our own, our own laws that we have made, as it were. So I take your point, Honourable Ramaila, and this honourable member said to me, while we do that, while we try and not overreach, remember that when the commissioner of KZN was before the portfolio committee, he said, had you listened to me when I was here, you wouldn't be where you are now. So I really took note of that advice that I got from one of the colleagues on this platform, because in hindsight, you might find yourself dealing with an even bigger situation that if you had taken action when it first hit you, you would avoid a lot or the bulk of the tsunami at a later stage. But I want to ask Honourable Mnyai to say what he wants to say. I recognize you, Honourable Makgato. Honourable Mnyai, is your hand one?
Honourable Chair, there's a value. Chairperson, firstly, there's a value. I received the brief. And there's two recommend Chairperson. I don't know.
Honourable Makgato? Yeah, go ahead, Honourable Mnyai.
I'm saying that there's a value in sharing with us the brief. Already there's two areas which I think are clear, they can be easily clarified or to be considered for further submission while seeking legal advice. And before I go to them, I want to also make my own contribution of the media. I think we must be cautioned about issues of the weaponization of the media by the so-called whistleblowers, which is allowed to be protected by the laws of this country. And I think you have covered the issues very well, Chairperson, that while they do what they do, if we make a fundamental mistake, we'll be on our own. Let me come to those issues, Chairperson, that I said maybe the Secretary can be succinctly clear on them to add. Firstly, we will appreciate that the key aspects of the legal brief to include, one, the constitutional mandate of the constitutional mandate. Just to clarify the scope of the portfolio committee oversight powers under the law and the constitution. That's it. Number two, jurisdictional overlap, which some of you referred as an overreach. Advice on the legal propriety and potential risk of conducting a parallel investigation on the same subject matter as the PSC and a forensic investigation already initiated by the executive. The department in this regard. Those are the two areas which I think, if it can be clarified about our constitutional mandate, our scope of portfolio committee oversight powers under the Constitution in terms of law, and also to look at whether there's an overlap to advise on the legal propriety and potential risk of conducting a parallel investigation on the same subject matter as the PSC and forensic investigation already initiated by the executive, if that could be covered. But if they are not, as and when we engage with the legal mind, you can clarify that. But I'm sure the brief in the current context, it can help clarify those matters going forward. Thank you, Chair. I just want to thank the advantage and that the chairperson has allowed that we receive the brief.
Sure. Thank you so much, Honorable Munyai. I was hoping that you would also, while you are on the platform, respond
to we must do it very quick. Before we start to receive this this bill before us. Let's get the process ducks on the row and move forward, please.
Okay. Honorable Mahato.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. It covered me, and also Munyai did cover me. So at least the issue of the media really is not working in our portfolio. So I think we must just talk too much on it, so that we must do our things in the. I think yourself and Munyai, all of you covered me. Thank you very much.
Okay. The hands are still coming up. Colleagues, do you just want for us to go to 1 o'clock?
Sorry, Chair. It was just, what is it? Legacy and.
Okay. Portfolio Committee on Social Development.
Thank you very much, Chair. We appreciate your input on the brief. And we will amend after just consultation with Mr. Munyai, so that we can capture the exact thinking and also support you, and also submit an amended brief, so that the legal advisor can cover the aspects in the amendment. Mr. Munyai, I'll speak to you just to get exactly, or if you can maybe just put what you've just said in writing. Thank you very much, Chair, and also for having confidence in us, and as we are here to serve and ensure that your constitutional mandate, as in the Constitution, is discharged in a way you expect. Thank you very much, Chair and members.
Right. Colleagues, I think we're going to the end of our meeting and the internal business, but I would like to take this opportunity while all members are here by asking Yoli to expand now in her advice that she gave us earlier on after the contribution that was made by Lindiwe in terms of the best practice tour or study tour or whatever any member calls it. Because the reason why I am saying that, Yoli, is because I know the processes that precede these trips, and I know how things can go horribly wrong because we don't give yourselves sufficient time as members to be able to prepare in advance in terms of, sending things in.
That's taking like a full breakfast. I talked to the.
Okay, thank you. In terms of what can be done now. We are sitting on the 22nd of October now. The end of this term is next year in March, and we don't also want to, in terms of the parliamentary diary and the members, next year is a very, very a stressful year in terms of time, because that's when the elections are happening and people will be on the ground and so on and so forth. And I would hate for us to do it just for the sake of doing it. And I would like for us to agree as quickly as possible on what it is that we are going to do. Are we waiting for the Children's Amendment Bill, or are we tackling any of the other issues that we have in front of us? And as I think Lindwe mentioned, we have GBV that is running away with us. I don't see any headway that the country is taking, and our department is a leading department on this issue, and we have substance abuse and so on and so forth. And we have just a whole lot of issues that we can be assisted by going to other countries that are similar to South Africa, but have done well in dealing with those issues that are before us. And so I would like to know, Yoli, before we go, if you would abandon, if you are amenable to abandon the waiting for the bill to come before us in favor of taking any of the other issues that we are struggling with and deal with that and prepare the terms of reference, do internal submissions and so on and so forth, so that we can be on our way in time for us to come back and concentrate on what we need to do as the portfolio committee. Yoli?
Yes, Chair, I'm here. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Chair. I much appreciate it. To respond, Chair, to your question, maybe premise it on what I understand in terms of us going to or conducting a study tour. That, I mean, it's obvious we want to study something, to learn, so that we can maybe see where we can learn and adapt in our here in South Africa. So, yes, truly, we are struggling with a number of things, being GBV, being substance abuse, and a whole lot of other things. But where I'm coming from, Chair, is that yes, we have these issues, but we have a bill that is coming before us, a bill that we need to legislate in terms of what is, ultimately, it has to come into a legislation, okay? So whatever is contained in that bill, we must be able to put it there as a legislation. Now, already, we have something that we know is coming. It was touched on, even though it was not in the right platform in this meeting earlier, but we know from the previous term the issue of baby savers as another way of a child protection service. Okay, Chair. This is a new concept that is being proposed to us as this parliament yet again. Already from what the inputs that were made is that there is already a lot of inputs on this and maybe objection to how the department has proposed to be legislated in this bill. Okay, Chair. So that's something that the committee needs to, when it finally, either it moves for its support or it doesn't move for its support, it must have collected enough information, enough evidence on it. Is it working? Is it not working? Everything that we need on this particular one, Chair. So now the committee may decide, do we now see this one as a priority because it must go into a piece of legislation that must now become a legal provision in this country? That's very important to me. Chair, we have the substance abuse issue, which is equally important. Chair, I'm not minimizing any of this, but I'm just putting out there to the committee. Yes, we have an issue with the CDA right now, which it has serious problems in terms of its governance, its budget, its authority, and even its scope. Chair. Right now, it's operating under the subdirectorate of a department. Okay, Chair. And I have picked up serious issues with them. For example, there was a response that was forwarded to this committee on our recommendation and concern that we raised when we are considering the annual report. Maybe the members may not remember it, or maybe they didn't read it, but it's maybe probably not the platform for me to read it now. But one thing I picked up that concerned me, it gave me an impression that a board of the CDA must report to the officials of the department who are in that subdirectorate. And that worried me because I don't think how things are done. The board doesn't report, to just an official. And it seemed to me that response reduced the powers of the CDA to just as an administrative matter. And that's a serious thing concerned to me. And we were told there is the legislation that's going to amend. There is a legislation that gives effect to the establishment of the CDA, which is now the Prevention of and Treatment of Substance Abuse. That legislation is reviewed. So we don't know what that means. Maybe the department will come to us and tell us exactly what do they mean. And that is also part of our strat plan, by the way, that we make a follow-up on that legislation. Because for anything that will make corrections to what is happening with the CDA right now, it has to come through the amendment of that act. So you see how these things, Chair, they relate to us as a legislator. There's one substance abuse, which has an act that has to be amended. There's one bill that will be before us very soon. So how we plan our oversight, Chair, and how we plan our study tour, my advice will be we align to what our mandate is about, to make laws. And this and other mandate, of course, we have oversight on that. But this particular one, we can use these study tours to learn on something as a committee that will help us to fulfill one of our mandate to make a law or to amend a law, which in this current term, Chair, and also in our strat plan, we have already these two piece of legislation, the Children Amendment Bill that at least now we know is coming soon. We have one that we need to honestly advise to push, Chair, for that legislation be amended if the committee wants to see a change in the CDA. In terms of the time, Chair, and the serving now and next year, I think largely that will also depend on Mrs. Lindiwe because she's the one now who deals with the logistics. But I know with our trip to Canada, it took us almost, but we were under pressure even there because even Canadian people they gave us caution that we must not do it again. Yeah, I think we did it about 4 months or so, but they cautioned us that to apply for visa, if you go to a country that needs a visa, it takes long. But with the intervention, they managed to assist us, but they cautioned us. I remember we had a meeting with the ambassador there, Mr. Shakes, I can't remember, or Sheikh, the name, but you met him, Chair. He cautioned us before that when we undertake these auditors, we must have enough time so for all these logistical things to be first done, then we can go there. So I'm thinking now it's October and then November and December is a holiday month, then we have January. Mrs. Linda will then have to come and advise if February would be, like we said, Chair, a feasible month to undertake a study tour. That is more to her level of expertise. I was just giving advice in terms of the content-related issue, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoli. I gathered from what you said that we have issues regardless. If we have time constraints, we have issues that we can lift out of the bill, although it's still with the executive, and arm ourselves with information from the study tour so that when it lands on our table, we have something to discuss. We have background information from other jurisdictions to engage on those issues. I don't see any hands, so I'll go straight back to Lindiwe, and then we can close.
Chair, I agree with the chair, with Yoli and yourself on the direction of the process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Lindiwe.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just want to say that you resolve that you need to conduct an international study tour, and the content and research team need to work on the focus of the study tour. And you also want to conduct the study tour within the current financial year. I think if we can, from now it's October, it can be end of January or beginning of February for the study tour. Otherwise, beyond that, it will be a bit late if the committee doesn't take a decision now. It's doable, Chair. As soon as we get the objectives of the study tour and identify the country, the committee envisage to visit, which the content and the research team they can assist on that, and then through your office maybe you can present the terms of reference, and then we can start applying to Mr. Frolik for the committee to conduct the study tour. Thank you very much for February.
Thank you so much. Can I propose then, honorable members, because I have you here with us, so that we don't waste any further time, can I propose that we agree on doing a study tour on baby savers, or whatever other countries call them?
I support, Chairperson.
Okay. Seconded. Were you seconding that, or were you supporting that, Honorable Mutai?
I thought I was seconding your recommendation, Chairperson.
Okay, I can't obviously recommend. I can only recommend. I can't. I have to let the members adopt and second themselves.
I move for the adoption of that recommendation.
Okay. Any seconding? Seconder?
Seconded, Chair.
Okay. Awesome. So research,
Chair?
content. Yes, Lindiwe.
Can I also advise, Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
We currently, the baby saver is a proposed amendment from the previous children's amendment. Currently, we don't know whether it will make life to this bill underway. As Mr. Mchochisa indicated, in that they want, many people didn't support that. Maybe you can have more than one subject matter to learn from. Maybe it can be baby savers, maybe, and substance abuse, so that we know we have more than one, and then the content team can come and present which countries and which best practice. So I just wanted to caution that let's not speak only to one area. Maybe you can speak on that.
Chairperson.
Sorry. Chair.
Sorry, Chairperson.
My hand is dark, so it's not.
Yes. Let's have Honorable Mare, and then while you're changing the color of your hand, we can come to you just now. Yes.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I would second the one of the drug abuse, where countries has made inroads, how they use their rehab centers, how to assist families, and all those things. I think because we do have a crisis within South Africa, I would go for the one of the substance abuse. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay. Remember, colleagues, the baby savers have been adopted in this meeting. Honorable Munyai.
Chair, I think the advice was that they don't know in the current. Remember, we need the the background of this current bill as you suggested. And we don't know as to whether the baby savers will be included. And according to Secretary, says that the legal representative or the Mr. Mchuchisa clarified that there's been a lot of rejection of that element. So I'm not saying that it cannot be covered, but I wanted to trying to persuade honorable members if there's any additional issue to consider, which is not even the issues of the it will be, on my view, Chair, the issues of the basic income support, because I know within this 2 years period there was a proposal that it's even within the department APP that they'll also brief us about it if it will be possible.
Okay, so Honorable Abrams.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I think maybe I understand that the one item was already taken a resolution on, that the content advisor will proceed with planning on that, and then the option was that there'd be a second one. And I hear the option of the basic income grant being put forward. However, my understanding is that that is still in policy development. So that is even further away from our committee's objectives and timelines and mandate than the Children's Amendment Bill is. And Chairperson, I think we should not be, I want to use the word naive for lack of a better word. We've been in this situation with the Children's Amendment Bill before, well, some of us have. So therefore, we are speaking from experience on this Children's Amendment Bill, that even though stakeholders put in their comments for input, it sometimes does not change the position of the department. So I just want to caution our members to that while there are objections to certain things, it doesn't necessarily translate in the department changing their position, and also that the bill is, the draft bill, the proposed bill is available on PMG for the members to go and scrutinize already. So the content is out there for us to go have a look at, and just to take lessons from the previous term into this term so that we don't find ourselves in similar situations. And then, Chairperson, I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Honourable members, we have the baby savers having been given to us and adopted. We have that. And the very, very progressive advice was given to say, let's not put all our eggs in one basket. Let us have other issues that we are grappling with as the portfolio committee. And then the Honourable Mare says, substance abuse. We are number, I don't know, when I last checked, we were number very high on substance abuse in this country. So why don't we make that substance abuse issue the second one that we are going to say to our research and content advisors, here are the issues. Develop what you do call it, terms, concept note or terms of reference on the basis of these two, because we want to go ahead and go and learn about this, so that actually when we come back, even if the bill will not be before us by the time we go, but when we come back, we have even information that is coming from other jurisdictions that have grappled with this issue but have made inroads, as the Honourable Mare was saying. I am proposing again that we stay with what we've already adopted, which is the baby savers, and then we consider the issue of substance abuse. And then the Honourable Munyai says to us, guys, there is also basic income grant that we still have in our plate. It is far from being in front of us, because obviously it's at policy stage at the moment and consultation stage and so on and so forth, why then don't we have these issues to be used for us to go? Because also, another issue that I have to raise now, with the fact that we have been given, like departments are voted money, we've also been voted a budget. If we do not use it, who says Parliament will take it away? Because obviously we are not using it, and then we are really now in trouble because we have not used the budget that we were given, and also we are drowning in issues, social ills that we are dealing with, that it shouldn't be an issue for us to find or to just pick one or two, as has been suggested, and use them as our subject for going to learn about it. That is my proposal. Honorable, I think it was Portfolio Committee on Social Development, Yolisa, and then I think Honorable Abrams. And a very dark hand, I mean, even darker than me, that is an issue, of Honorable Munyai. And in that order, please. Portfolio Committee on Social Development, Yolisa Kanye, Honorable Abrams, Honorable Munyai. That is the order I was referring to.
Thank you very much, Chair, for the input, but I think I've made a comment regarding the first proposal to say that the issue of baby savers is not before the committee in the bill. We don't know whether it will be part of the bill or not. Same argument we can put to basic income grant. So it's a policy formulation, same as baby savers is still within the executive. We don't know when the bill comes before us, it will be part of the amendments. So I would advise that the issue of substance abuse, as the country, is plagued with substance abuse. So, but the committee, if they want to go before the bill is presented for the baby savers, I would think it's a wise decision for now until it's before the committee. We can even go post the tabling. I think for now, we don't know whether it will be part of the amendments or not. So I just wanted to provide that advice. But if the committee wants to proceed, we can before it's been tabled before Parliament.
Thank you, Lindwe. Yoli?
Thank you, Chairperson. I think I will have a discussion with Mrs. Linda on the side, but my input just in this committee is to say, learning from the previous round on this bill, that this baby saver was not in the proposed bill, though that was tabled for us. It came as submissions from the stakeholders to the committee. And it was a new thing for the committee that even the committee made a resolution to get a briefing from an expert on this. So having said that, Chair, and the proposal now, whether it goes to Cabinet and it gets approved or not, okay, it has already generated inputs. Those inputs, they may come our way in terms of submissions, Chair. And when that happens, the committee now will have to make a decision. So my point is, then the decision of the committee at that point should be a decision that is well-informed, Chair. So that's my caution, that from the likelihood, reading from the inputs that we had and on this matter, it's safe to say we had to leave it because of the legal advice that we received at the time. But it was one of the issues that was raised as main submissions or proposals in this bill over and above the adoption one, but I don't want to go there, Chair. So what I'm saying is it was not, but we did as a committee receive inputs that had the process unfolded not in terms of the completion toward the whole bill, this committee would have had to make a decision or on that baby savers. But we can discuss it, Chair, on the side. I don't want it to be almost like a dialogue here. Thank you, Chair.
Right. Before I go to Honorable Munyai and then Honorable Abrams, who is Michael NH? Colleagues, who is Michael NH, who is in our meeting at the moment?
I'm from PMG.
Oh, okay. But I have Amila Sidela from PMG.
Oh, yes. Oh, I don't know, Chair.
Michael NH, please, can you identify
There's also iPhone 15 Pro. I don't know whether you saw that.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much, Honorable Mnyai. We'll go to iPhone 15 Pro just now. Michael NH, please, will you let us know who you are? Okay, Lindiwe, are you in a position of taking Michael NH out of the meeting?
Hey, NH. Hey.
iPhone 15 Pro, please identify yourself to the committee.
Good morning, Chair. It's MP Peters.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh. Next time, please write your name, honorable member.
Okay, no problem.
You were so close to Lindy. We're just yanking you out of your own meeting. Okay.
No problem.
Okay. Honorable Munyai.
Chairperson, I think it will be unfair just to have a mechanical approach when we make a contribution, because it doesn't mean each and every bill we will take a trip, international trip. And none of the honorable member, when they said the matter of the BIS is too far, they don't know exactly the timeline. It's known by the executive and the cabinet. And I'm saying that out of this international tour, because we know it's something that's within the APP for them to report on and the progress. And if we did not ask them to come and report on other matters, they wouldn't have done so. We would think even the matter of this bill will be even too far. So all I'm trying to say, Chairperson, I think we must have a maximum benefit from out of this trip.
Yes.
And I don't want to be this issue of this issue of saying that the babysitter presentation has already been made. But that presentation has been made outside the processes, because the only presentation that will be legitimate with respect to the bill is the only that one that will be made in the public participation. That will be made when invitation for them to register to come and to present orally before the portfolio as interested and affected parties.
Right.
So, because if I make presentation on the bill now to the portfolio committee, before even the bill come to portfolio committee, that will be illegal and outside the parameters of the legislative process, because you need to be strict with the processes. I'm not anti that the matter cannot be attended to as part of the study tour and so on. You know, I'm not anti, but I'm saying that please also accommodate these critical issues, which we know is in the radar of this portfolio committee.
Right.
And it's not about, because we're not going to have each and every year we're going out for study tour. It's something very rare. And I think it's also, it must be something in balance, even if in policy, ideological position we differ amongst political parties. I think we must be tolerant and accommodative to each other, other interests. because I'm not opposed to what other parties want to be seen, to be included on the study tour. Do you want to tell me that the issues of inequality is not an issue? There's intention even to end the what called what to call this SRD grant, and then the issues of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. It's not a major problem for this country. It is. And remember, as I motivated last time, the BIG, or the Universal Basic Income Support, directly respond to socio-economic problem of this country. But that's argument for the other day, because argument will be made within when the policy is here. But all I'm trying to say, can we also include some of that? We feel very strong from the side of the ANC, even if some don't like what we're trying to propose, that please, as part of the international study tour, because we don't do it every day, drugs, issues of the BIS, and by the way, it was even presented here, but then there was an issue that would have raised. But the key issue is that please be accommodative, and it should not be, I'm not saying issues should be too many. And I think with respect to the Children Amendment Bill, it's clear. And it's a related aspect. And I think issues of the drug is critical. And as a consequence of the drugs, people are unemployed, people don't have, they can't meet the basic need. There are a lot of people who can't meet the basic need in this country. Hence, I was motivating for inclusion amongst the study. We can balance. It could be allocated for a day or whatever, or for what particular hours, so that at least we draw some of the experience. But we know also principally why this study tour is being conducted. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Munyai. I totally agree with what you are saying. Maybe we went too far in our conceptualization of what it is that we need for us to have a study tour. And we ventured into being, in your words, mechanical. Honorable Abrahams?
Chairperson, my hand was just to second the nomination of Honourable Marie's proposal that the second topic includes substance abuse, relates to substance abuse. So that would be my input. And on a side note, Chairperson, if we get to a country and they are able to talk to us on many other things, then that is a bonus, because I'm sure there will be a lot of overlapping issues. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Honorable Reverend Kobaza?
Thank you, Chairperson. Don't want to disturb the good work that has been done now. But on our side, the socio-economic matters in the MK, and if ever, maybe we can put, I think as a country, as we've said before, that we are adding people on our grant system. If ever there is a country that have managed to have half of their people in the grant system and manage to take them out, maybe we would like also to include that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Right. Okay, so the hand is gone off. Okay, colleagues, here is my summation of what I believe has been discussed here today. In line with the study tour, we have adopted the baby savers. We have adopted the substance abuse. I see on our PC PC WhatsApp group that the Honorable Peters has also shared a very comprehensive list that speaks to kids' rights. So it's just kids' right, and that's it. Maybe we went too specific in singling things out. But what I believe this scorecard is dealing with is kids' rights as in every right of a child. There are countries that are dealing with that. But also, I want to also say that in the report, in the research that's going to be done for these two issues, can we find try and find and obviously give a report to the committee? Can we find countries that are dealing with a variety of social issues that are just champions in these things, so that we don't find ourselves now going in serious circles on what is more important than the other? I know that we have now agreed upon two issues as per the advice or in this meeting, to say let's not just put everything in one basket. Now the Honorable Gobaza is coming up with another very important issue of the countries that have been able to restore dignity of people by making sure that they had, I don't know that there's a country, other country that has got the grant system like ours. I was told that we are the only country that is so big on grants across the board. But if we can find a country that has been able to restore dignity to its population by taking them out of the grant, migrate them out of the grant system to where they're actually working, to where they're actually having small businesses, to where they're actually having cooperatives that work, and so on and so forth. So that is a tall order, but I believe this team of support has big shoulders that they can bring that to us, and we are able to go to a place where we're not just going for substance abuse, or we're not just going for baby savers, but we are going for a social development, a strong country on social development as a whole. Honorable Mnyai?
Is it social protection with regard to basic income support?
Yes.
Eliminated or is added in this part of the study tour?
Yeah, that is what we are going to be doing going forward with Lindiwe and Yoli and Ms. Kudula, as they do our terms of reference.
I'm glad if it will be added. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you to our support for keeping us on track and not going off the rails, as politics will do that most of the time. So until we get we are now looking forward to getting our legal advice. We are now looking at the draft terms of reference for our trip or study tour, or best practice tour, as I like to call it. And until then, I would like to declare this meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues.
Okay.
See you later at the questions sitting. Goodbye.
Thank you, Chair.
Bye.
Bye, Chair.